Hey everyone, it's JP and I've got a new tutorial for you today. I wanted to do an ornament design for our upcoming holiday season. So this is what I've got for you. I think it's beautiful. It came out just stunning. You know, I'm complimenting myself, of course. Anyway, so basically all I've done is make 4 components and then connect them together. So I will show you how to do that. And the materials you're going to need are going to be some 8mm beads. I've got 4 pearls that I'm using. So these are 8mm. You're going to need 11s and 15s and 4mm bicones. Although the 4mm bead can be anything you want. So it could be fire polish or other pearls, whatever you want to do. So let's go over colors. This is just your basic white pearl. My 11s, this color is Galvanized Champagne, or Duracoat Galvanized Champagne. This color is Galvanized Rose Gold for the 15s. And the bicones are Light Siam AB. That is the bicones. And these are Czech machine cut bicones. So if you're wondering, they're not Swarovski. So for each component, you'll need a total of 6 bicones. So that's 24, and then you'll need another 8 to connect. So that makes it at 34. Is that right? Did I do that math right? No, I don't think I did the math right. What did I say? I said 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So 2 more. Too many bicones there. 32 bicones in total, 4 pearls, and some 11s and 15s. So here's the front of the bicone, and then here's the back, which I think is equally as pretty. You don't see as much of the bicones from the back as you do from the front, of course. So, and the component does move around a bit, or the piece, the ornament, because I've only connected, it's connected, you know, each component is connected in 2 places. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, so to start our component, what you're going to do is pick up an 8mm bead and bring it down towards the end of the thread, and then just go ahead and tie a knot. So I am just going to tie this knot. So there's a knot, it's just sitting on the bead right there. And what I'm actually going to do is just go through the bead again, and this should pull the knot on to the inside. See? Now the knot is inside, and just tightening it up. Now what you want to do is pick up 8 11s. So it's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Go through the 8mm bead once again, and you should get a loop on one side of the bead, and then you're going to repeat to do that to the other side. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 11-ohs, and go back. Go back around, go back through the whole lettuce to create the loop. So you're going to get this loop, just like that. And now what you're going to do is go up through the beads until you get to the top. It doesn't matter which side you go up, so just go up one of the sides. So here we go. And there we are. So now what I'm going to do is pick up 1 11 and then connect to the other side and then go through all the beads. Just like this, and I'm going to keep going. And then one more time, I'm going to pick up 1, 11, and go back up all the beads. So I want to keep count. I want to go back through just 8 of the beads. So, and then this is 8. So I went through 4 and so what you want to do is just bring it all together. So you should have a circle like this, and it should sort of sit towards the front. As you can see, it's kind of off. It's not sitting directly at the center. It's actually kind of pulled forward. And that's what you want. Now, you want to make sure that you're coming out of the bead that's connecting the 2 sides together. So I gotta go through one more bead here. So this bead was the one that connected the 2 sides, so you want to be in front of that. And I'm just gonna pull my thread back there. And then what you're gonna do is pick up 3 11s and skip over that bead and then go through the next 2. And then repeat, pick up 3 11s, skip over this next bead here, and then go through the next 2. So you notice that my little picot here is over the one we skipped, and that's what you want. Now pick up 3 again, skip over this next one, and you're going to go through the next 2. So that puts you directly, so this next loop will go directly over the one that connects the 2 sides together, and that's what you want. So you're going to end up with a total of 6 of these. So once again, pick up 3, skip this next one, and go through these next 2. And repeat again. Again, pick up 3 and skip this one, go through the next 2. All right, so I've made a total of 5. I've got 1 more to make. So once again, pick up 3. You're going to skip this next one, and then you go through the next 2. And that actually puts you right where you started, and you can step up basically by going up the next 2 beads, and that puts you up in the picots. Okay, so now for the next step, I'm going to move some of my 15s over a little bit and bring the bicones over. So I'm going to pick up a 15, a bicone, and a 15, and go into the next picot here. Only the top bead of the picot. And I'm going to just so this is what you got. And then we repeat this. So pick up a 15, a bicone, and a 15, and you go into this next one that's sticking out. And again, 15, bicone, 15, the next 11, 15, bicone, 15, and this next one. And we gotta do 2 more. So 15, bicone, and 15, and go into the next one here. Okay, I gotta add one more bicone. So it'll be a total of 6 bicones that you're adding. 15 bicone, 15. So note where this 15 here is connected, that's the top part of that picot. So that's where you want to go. And then continue up into the 15 and then come out of the bicone. Okay, so this one thread where we wrapped around, that's going to get pushed to the other side, or it should get hidden inside. I'm also going to go ahead and trim off this tail thread. So this is what we have so far. Now you should be coming out of a bicone. And what you're going to do is we're going to connect all the bicones to each other. So pick up 2 15s and just go into the next bicone. Just like that. And you're going to repeat this all the way around, connecting all the bicones together. So it's 2 15s and going straight into the bicone. And so it'll feel very loose in the beginning, but don't worry, it'll tighten as we go. So 2 15s, and then I'm going into this next bicone here. So you want to keep pulling and tugging tight as you go. And again, 2 15s, and go into this next bicone here. And 2 15s, the next bicone, and 2 15s. And this is the last one. So go through the bicone and then go into the 2 15s. So you're going to reinforce the whole thing. So let me just go through it. All right, that thread needs to be pushed down. So there, now it's out of the way or hidden from sight. And then you just want to tighten everything up. So all you're going to do is just go back through all the beads to reinforce. Now, the bicones on the 15 won't be completely, there's going to be some space. And let me show you what I mean here. So as you're going around, as you can see on this one that's completed, there's still a little bit of a space here around the pearl. So, and that's okay, because you just kind of want it to like sit around it, kind of frame it is essentially what you're doing. And you don't need it to be completely super tight. So all I'm doing is reinforcing my circle. So just go through the bicones and the 15s. And this should feel very solid, all the beads, the whole component should just feel very solid. Okay, and then the last thing to do is to tie off and tie some half-inch knots. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot between the 15 and the bicone, because I want the knot to go into the bicone. And then just pull that through and go into the bicone, and then maybe tie one more here. And just going into the bicone if I can. Okay, so exit out of a bicone. All right, so let me just show you what this looks like. Here is the piece. That's what it looks like. And then here's the back. So the back actually looks just as pretty, I think. So you can have that, and so either side is a good looking component. I just like the little extra bling of the bicones. Now what you're going to do is take all of your components that you've made and we're going to connect them together. So I'm coming out of a bicone, and basically I want to connect to another bicone. And so the bicone that I want to connect to is actually going to be, so I kind of have it, the way I have this arranged is there's 3 on either side here. So, and then we're going to connect to, I guess this is the way to turn it. So this one is connected to this one here, is the way we're going to do it. And then we'll go around, and this one here will connect to that one, and then we'll have our 4th one at the top. Like so. So that's going to be our ornament. Okay, so let me move these out of the way first and show you how to do this. And so what you're going to do is pick up a 15, a bicone, and a 15. There we go. And you're just going to go into the bicone on the other component here. Actually, let me kind of clean this up a little bit. Just get all of this out of my way so we can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to go into this component, or this bicone, on my other component. There we go. And then once again, I'm going to pick up a 15 and a bicone and a 15. And I'm going to go back through the bicone on the other component, the first component. So there you go. You've got the 2 connected. Now what you're going to do is reinforce. So make sure you hold both together, and then just go through all of the beads a couple of times. So with the 15s, it might be difficult to go through them, depending on the needle you're using. If you've got a size 13 or a size 12 needle, beading needle, I would recommend using that. So I've gone through it, well, basically I've gone through it twice now. So I'm going to go through it one more time. And that should feel very secure. So now we're going to come over to this bicone and attach the next component. Okay, so I have gone through, so I've connected these, I've gone through the 2 15s, and I'm coming out of this next bicone, and I'm going to go ahead and connect my next component. So you're just repeating what I just did in the previous part. you're going to pick up an 11, or sorry, a 15, a bicone, and a 15. And you're going to go into this bicone here on the other component. Just like that. And then again, pick up 15, bicone, and a 15, and go to the other, basically go back to the first bicone, and there you go. So there is essentially what it is, and we're just going to go ahead and reinforce, so go back around these a couple more times. I feel like I'm too close. Hold on, let me just move away a little bit, and I can pick this up. All right, I'm going to go through it one more time to reinforce. And we're almost done. Got to add one last component, and then we should be good. So what I'm going to do is just continue up. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just tie off. So I'm going to go and go up into the 15. And tie a 1/2 inch knot between the bicone and the 15. And so I continued through the bicone, came out of the 15, now I'm going to go into the bicone. And I'm actually going to go forward into the 2 15s here. And then tie a 1/2 inch knot, and now I'm just going to weave it away. All right, so I'm not going to go into that 15. I'm going to go down into this set here, just in case they're 15, so you can't make too many passes through those anyway, so, and just make it easier on yourself that you don't accidentally break the bead after all that hard work, so there's always another path. There we go. And let's go ahead and trim this. Okay, so now I'm going to bring my last component into the mix. Here's this guy. And so I left, one of the things you can do as you're making these components is to start with extra thread. So I always start with about 18 inches of thread, so 1.5 feet or so. When I started, and so I've got thread already on here and it's ready to go. So I'm exiting a bicone right here. So basically I'm going to connect this bicone and these two bicones and then these two bicones over here. So to connect my bicones, I'm going to start with a 15, a bicone and a 15. And I'm going to go into this bicone here. Just like that. And again, 15, bicone, 15. And make our way back into the original bicone where we started. Okay, so now reinforce. And okay, so what I am going to do now is just continue down this way, and I'm actually going to, from this 15 here, I'm actually just going to connect over and go this way, that way. I don't have to go all the way around the beads again. And I'm a little concerned about passing through the 15s too many times. I'm worried that, like I said, making too many passes through those beads. Okay, I got through that first 15 and then the 15, and now I'm in position. Okay, there we are. Sorry, I apologize if I went out of frame. I'm sorry about that. But we are in position, so we're just repeating what we've done again and again. So last time I'm going to connect this, my fourth component, together. So 15 bicone, and there's another 15 going into this bicone here. And again, 15 bicone and 15 going back into my bicone on the other starting component. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to reinforce is what I'm doing here. All right, we are done. Now I'm just gonna tie a couple of half-hitch knots. So I'm just gonna go through this 15 and then tie a knot between the bicone and knot 15. And now one more knot here between this 15 and bicone. All right, so I got my 2 knots. I'm going to go ahead and just weave the thread over a couple of beads here. And call it done. So remove the thread. And there it is. So one last step is to take some extra fireline. You don't need a very big piece. And I'm just trimming some here from my spool. So here's the fireline. I'm using my crystal clear fireline. Oh, I hate threading this. It always takes forever to get it through the hole. There we go. Even after I flatten it. Okay, so here's the fireline. Basically what I'm going to do is go through, so this is the top of the component. I want to go through the 15, so make sure you leave the thread, hold on to it. The 11 and that 15 there. And then just pull it off. And again, you can do this with, you can do it with like a nice silvery thread or shiny gold thread, whatever, depending on the colors of your beads. But I'm just going to tie a knot, and because it's an ornament, I like the clear crystal fireline. So there, I've gotten mine a little knot. So now you can hang this on your tree or wherever. I mean, it's an ornament that you can hang up just about anywhere. You could even put it in your car, on the windshield, the rearview mirror, if you want. And let me just finish going over that one more time. There we go. And okay, so there's my component with the thread. So now you can hang this on your tree. It's got the thread, but you could also use a nicer thread if you've got it. This is all I've got as far as thread that's thin enough to go through the beads. And plus it's clear fireline, so once it's hung on the tree, for example, you won't see it, and all you'll see are these gorgeous beads. So what did you think of my little ornament design here? I really like the way it looks. It does move a little bit, so if you want it, if you're not crazy about that, you can connect these two bicones here in the center using the same technique that I just used. So you'll just need a couple more bicones. But I think I'm going to leave it this way because it's just going to hang on the tree, and I really like the way this looks. Love that diamond shape to it. Anyway, I hope you liked the tutorial, and I will see you in the next one. Also, please give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.